Hello everybody, so let's try this again. I'm not exactly sure why Facebook decided to kick me off the live feed, but again, we'll start from the beginning. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Nathan Faw, and I guess prior to walking out the door tonight to enjoy this beautiful North Dakota evening, I was watching a short video on existentialism, which basically means that we have to exist before we can establish meaning for our life. I mean, a lot of times, there's kind of the idea of like essentialism, which means that prior to my existence, like I was born with a purpose, or born with some sort of predetermined fate or whatever. And the idea of like existentialism really, I think, stands out to me, because we can feel like life can be unfair, or like why was I given this life with all of these things that have happened, and and trying to where it's like we can just kind of like wait for things to happen, and just it's like, oh, if I'm just a good person, good things will happen. Or we can get all of this stuff instead of understanding that, again, in my opinion, that life is ultimately what we make it. It is up to us to get up and get out there and give ourselves life meaning. If we're unhappy, then go change that. If we if we don't, for example, if we feel like maybe if we weigh too much, or we're feeling unhealthy, it's like, well, maybe instead of sitting on the couch and eating a bag of chips and watching a movie, maybe we need to get up and go for a walk. Or if we're not happy in our current work situation, that we need to go out and find a new job, or maybe we need to go back and get retrained in a new trade, or get go back to school and receive education on something. But life is not just gonna hand us things that we don't work for, I guess. If life ultimately has no meaning, then it is up to us to give it meaning. It is up to us to understand, I guess, kind of the absurdity within life. That kind of like, if you're familiar with like the myth of Sisyphus or whatever, which is, he's the person that, was, kind of did some things that made the gods really angry, and he was, punished to push this rock kind of up a hill, and every day he'd get to the top. The next day it would start over at the bottom again. And he ultimately found meaning in his purpose of pushing that rock, and all of the got to know the rock and the intricacies of the rock and all these things, and really got to appreciate it and appreciate his fate. But he did that through ultimately choosing to give that meaning. But that's the absurdity, is like each day we're down at the bottom of the hill, forced to have to push the rock back up the hill again. And nobody's going to push that rock for us but ourselves. So anyways, that's really about it for tonight. I was just, like I said, as I was out here running and walking, and really started to think about this, it really